This is Semperfi 1918, and I had a pretty interesting day today. So, earlier last week, I ended up getting in contact with this lady, and she happened to have a couple of pans, which she has had like four of them. These are two of them right here. Uh, and I asked her about this big one right here, which is a number 14 BSR Century Series. And it's really cool because you'll see, yes, it's rusty, but it sits flat and everything. And it does say, I don't know if you can see it up here, it does say made in USA. And then down here it does have, you can probably barely make out on it, but you see the, oh, there we go, number 14, 15 inch. And it's got a nice heat ring on it. And all the telltale signs. So I'll get this thing cleaned up. And then, well, it was up there, so as I was contacting her and talking to her, and she said, well, it's $30, but for you, because you're in the service, I will give you it free. I'm like, whoa, okay. So I drove all the way up there, which was about 70 miles, if I remember right, one way, and then 70 miles back. So we had a little bit of a chit chat, which was really cool, meeting her and getting to know about her and stuff, and her husband. And as I was heading up there this morning, I was like, you know what? I have a feeling I should be bringing something up there. And so I prayed about it, and so I did. And I ended up giving it to her, and it happened to be exactly something that she needed. So for those that are believers, this is actually pretty cool for you guys. For those that are not, it is what it is. So anyways, so then she said, well, I'll tell you what, you can have a second pan for free. So I was like, okay. So because she wanted to bless me, so I was like, okay, well, so that's exactly what I did. I ended up grabbing this Lodge USA 903, I think it is. Or no, I take that back. I can't read that. Anyways, so whatever size this is, it's whatever it is. It's a griddle, I guess. So needless to say, so I ended up getting those two. And, well, I was like, well, why don't I take another scenic route, because I wanted to go see a antique store that I hadn't seen yet. I went in there, there's a couple items in there, but they were way overpriced, and there was really nothing for cast iron except for one Lodge, and they wanted way too much for it. So then I ended up going to one of my other favorite places called Ann's Attics, and they've done quite a bit of a change since then, since the last time I've been there, and it's been probably about a good 3 years since I've been there, unfortunately, but anyways. So when I got into Ann's Attics, I was like, well, I wonder if I can find anything. So I ended up hitting the first couple booths, and I did find a made in the U.S., I think it was an unmarked Wagner size number 3 for 50% off, but I was like, no, that's not going to work. That's not going to do. I got plenty of 3s, and not going to happen. So I ended up going through, found a couple other pieces of cast iron. I was like, well, that's kind of cool, but they painted that one, so I was like, nah, not going to have that. Went down a few more, and then I saw this big, huge 12-inch lodge, or bigger lodge. And I was like, wow, they want $20 for that? That's a little bit, okay, whatever. And then I looked over to the right on the ground, and I happened to see these two. I was like, what do we have here? So the first one I looked at, which was actually this one, was up on top. I flip it over, and I'm like, whoa, number 4, 3-notch Lodge. I was like, wow. I looked at the price tag, $5. I was like, ooh, yoinks. This one sits flat, doesn't really move, so we're good there. Then I came across this guy. I didn't pay attention to the sticker on the inside yet because I flipped it over. And look at there. Bam. Number 4. Small logo Griswold. Erie, PA. And it's the handle that I'm looking for. I've been looking for one of these for quite a while. I was like, wow. Well, the price they wanted for it was a little bit more than I wanted to, but I knew that sometimes if you want a piece, you find it, and you know you're not going to see one for a long time, and you might regret it, so I paid for it. I was like, well, that's great. So I ended up with both of those, and I still went through the whole store to look at everything else. They had a couple other decent cast iron pans, and they had one that was a waffle iron, I believe from the late 1800s, because it was a Erie, PA, Griswold, no patent on it, for a decent price, not too shabby. So I ended up leaving with the 2 number 4s. I was like, okay, this is a pretty good day here. Pretty good day. And I thought, well, let me try one more place. So I ended up going to another place, and it's the one other place that I used to find a lot of cast iron. They didn't have a whole lot there. So I ended up going, and I was like, well, walked around probably about half the place, and I'm like, can I strike twice? Can my luck hit twice? Well, sure enough, when I got about 3/4 of the way through, underneath the basket, probably about 3/4 of the way, I looked down, and I'm like, oh, great. And I didn't really pay attention to this part here. I'm like, oh, great, it's probably another lodge or whatever. Until I flipped it over, and I'm like, ooh, what do we have here? And then I realized a number 273 Griswold Crispy Corn Stick Pan, Erie, PA, USA. And I believe that is a 930A. I was like, I'll double check on this one. So I looked it up, looked up the images just to make sure this was real. And it is real. Well, they wanted a little bit more than I anticipated for it, but I was like, I'll see what they can do for the difference. And so I ended up giving 10% off, which I ended up having to kind of pay that back because of the taxes. So that worked out anyways, which was not really that bad of a deal, because you can find them online from anywhere from $20 to $45, $50, I think. But anyways, this one, these two, and definitely this one here, the number 14, are all going to be in my collection. Because now I got 2 4s that'll help get closer to finishing up the series I have on those, which will be really nice. So yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know that I had a good day today. And it's pretty interesting on how sometimes you never know what you're going to come across. And sometimes you come across with great deals, good deals, and sometimes just fantastic pieces. And this will definitely be a fun one to get all cleaned up. So as far as these ones goes, I believe it's now number 4, number 6, number 7, number 8, number 9, and number 10 I have. I don't have the 5, and I don't have a number 3 with this type of handle yet, which is pretty cool. And then with this one, I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm not sure, but I think I might have a number 12 as well. I could be wrong. But anyways, so I know this is a short 10-minute video. Please hit the like, subscribe, and hit up the comment section below and tell me what you think. This is Semperfi 1918 out.